Hi all. So I've started to notice a pattern. You've probably heard Joel and I say things like, I'm just gonna try it and see what happens, a lot. How do you get to be an expert unless you try it? I mean, what's the worst that can happen?
Just gonna try it and we'll see what happens.
And when I started to notice this pattern, my old self-conscious perfectionist ego started to rear its know-it-all head. Growing up, I always wanted to be the best at something. I loved a challenge. I loved to figure stuff out, to master it. And it wasn't at all because I wanted attention or that I was competitive and wanted to be better than the other kids. It was everything from taking a spelling test to being the first one done with a project. I mean, I can't tell you how long I spent at one of my first jobs. It was Hardee's, and they taught you how to make that ice cream cone swirl. Like, I could make the most beautiful symmetrical ice cream swirl on the planet. And then as I got older, you become a teenager, and for me, there was very little trying when I was a teenager. You know, I don't want to stick my neck out there and fail, except for the ice cream swirl. But all the big things, I was not about to try and draw attention to myself. So I guess in a way that meant as a teen, I'd figured I'd peaked. I was doomed to a life of exemplary spelling skills and outstanding flexibility and stellar ice cream swirls. You know, I was gonna have to find a job somewhere that would take me with those skills. And then I met Joel. And for those of you who don't really know Joel very well, Joel is the kind of man, and if you do know him, you know that he's the kind of person that brings out the best in other people. He has a way of giving confidence to those who maybe shouldn't even have confidence. I'm just kidding. But I've known Joel for 35 years. 28 of those years have been marital bliss. And Joel reminded me of my love of a good challenge, that nothing is learned if you're playing it safe. Joel has gotten me to do so many things like canoe down rivers, go backpacking on the Superior Trail where there are bears, which we have seen bears, he's even taught me how to catch catfish out of the river and how to take them off the hook myself. I had a scar for a long time from that, but I never got stabbed again by another catfish. He just gave me the confidence to challenge myself again. But as I said earlier, that old perfectionist, self-conscious ego started to rear its ugly head lately, and I started to think, I bet I'm not the only person that feels this way. There's got to be others of you who have also felt this way about sticking your neck out, not wanting to try and look or feel dumb. And then I thought of the example I must be setting for my kids. When I don't show my failures and I only talk about my successes, the world is gonna get to be a real weird place if nobody's trying anymore. You know, think about it. People who are 20 and 30 years old right now, not feeling the confidence to be able to try something they've never done before. So it made me think, let's give them a chance. If they're not bringing their new ideas into the world, that's because of an example they've probably been shown. How do we move forward if there aren't any new ideas in the world? And it is very relevant to me because Joel and I have a 20-year-old and an 18-year-old, and we really want them to feel like they can count on us, rely on us, fall back on us. And we want them, even though we think some of the things they say or try are just crazy, you know, I think of what Joel and I are doing here. People thought we were crazy and we did it anyway, and it's been, you know, there haven't been any failures we haven't been able to come back from. So I want all of us to think of all of the young people coming up in the world today. Let them try. Let's give them a chance. What's the worst that could happen? I mean, there's a lot of bad things that could happen, but they have us as a resource. Let's make them feel like they can come to us if they're struggling or if they have a failure, and we're not going to judge them that harshly. So if you're 20 years old and watching this, we are counting on you. We're counting on you to try these new things. We know you're gonna fail at some. Some might be an outstanding success. We're also counting on you to reference your resources when you're really struggling. That's the other half of this, I guess, mentality is let's give them a chance, but then give them the path back to us to ask for help if there's some help we can be giving them. Okay, so let's watch this video. Joel and I always have multiple projects going on here. Nothing ever gets done from start to finish. It's always, we work on A, then B for a little while, we go back to A, and then we're gonna start C. So, and just a reminder, Joel and I never did any of these things until we had this property. And again, thanks for being here. And if you like this video, please like this video. If you're new here, we hope you'll subscribe.
The main thing, we'll get these 3 in, and then we'll get those garden beds moved, and then we're done.
Okay.
We were trying to put up this fence yesterday without tightening it first, so it did not go well. So we just had a couple sections up we took down, and so we watched a couple YouTube videos and realized we needed to get a come along. We've got the fence attached to that corner, so now we've got it hooked on here. We're gonna ratchet this and tighten it. Hopefully it tightens the fence up enough to put it up straight.
Okay, so there, it broke it, so it's tight enough.
Where did it break?
No, it broke right here, didn't it?
So maybe I went too tight. I let loose on here. Oh, maybe not.
I think it just picked up the fence and pulled it closer to the posts.
Oh.
Because that's still attached, right?
Yeah, it is. Probably. Guess I went too tight then, huh?
Well, I don't see anything that broke. I think it just bent that end.
No.
Did it feel pretty?
I don't know. Can I still pull it though?
So I didn't get very good video of it, but this was the solution we came up with, was to kind of weave a post through some of the holes on the fence and then wrap a strap around it. And that made it so we weren't putting so much pressure on the fence and wouldn't break or bend anything too badly. I'm just gonna get a little before video and after.
Before and after video?
Yeah. Well, this one's already been taken out. An old rotted pallet was here, I take it.
That.
Oh, that.
Could you guys measure? We're gonna put new boards. I have a log. Across the boardwalk, throw in here.
What I've been wanting to get to in here is putting this drip line in the north and south garden beds so I don't have to come in here with the hose and water. Well, look who's been living under here, fat and happy all winter. Can you see that? That's a wolf spider. I almost grabbed him. Wish I did. Yeah, almost grabbed him. I'm gonna lay a second drip line down behind the lettuces, behind the tomatoes here. I haven't decided though if I should do 3 of them, because last year I did 2 in this bed and I only did, well actually I did 2 in the north bed also. And that bed is only like 3 feet, 4 feet maybe, whereas this is 5 or 6. So I could probably put 3 in here, although it's mostly going to be tomatoes and I'm only gonna have 2 rows. So I don't know, we'll see. But back there, I'm gonna put peppers kind of in that empty space over there. And so I'll have 2 of them there because I'll have 2 rows of peppers.
I tried using these T-post clips yesterday. They are not easy to use.
There was a lot of fighting.
Fighting with the fence. Must
Right.
be for professional builders. I don't know. But we watched another video. A guy just takes this 14 gauge wire. I'm gonna pull this tight.
Go under that notch.
And just wraps the way around it. Pretty darn easy. Yeah. So go ahead and do the end one.
First section, first 50-foot section is up. It's really hard on the hands. What are the takeaways?
Uh-oh. Figure out how to... Just gotta pull it tight at the bottom. It seems to really work.
And I think we should have longer posts at the corner, because the corner down there, there's a lot of pressure on it and it seems to want to bend in. So, but other than that, oh, and our little trick with the post and the come along and the strap, I think that was important to disperse the pressure from the come along. Raining. Yeah. You don't feel it?
It's a little drizzle.
How's your project coming along?
I got this post in.
Okay.
So just digging the hole for the next one. Through rock.
So all of these rocks were ones you took out of this hole?
Oh, and more. I've thrown more that way. But these two big ones were in that hole.
Jeez. How many bags of cement did you have to use?
There's just one in there now. I need to get probably another half of one in there, but I didn't want to do that until I had this one ready.
Okay.
I'm just making a cement sono tube for our fence posts. I just had some leftover fencing. Just gonna try it. Wrap it in this plastic, and we'll see what, and tape it, and we'll see what happens. I have to remove this for a second, but I made this sono tube for the cement because on this one I just used some wood, and it's, you know, not as easy as this tube, so piecing in the wood is difficult. Where this, I can just slide it over. Redo that. Put this down the hole, and now I will end up using less cement for this post instead of trying to fill all of that in with cement. We can move it after I have the cement in it here. I'll adjust it. Actually, why don't you?
Looks like it's working pretty good.
Check how flush it is with this other one. I think it looks like it's turned. Yeah. Need to turn the post so it's flush on that board, Eric. Okay. Changes. Might be a little twist in the board.
So I was just now coming out here to plant this pak choi and saw a deer behind the fence. Now it was on the correct side of the fence, but as you can see, the fence is not complete from there to here. So I was just going to chance it with that much fencing done and hope for the best, but I don't know. I guess we'll see what happens. I have a frost cover. I don't have like a shade cloth I could just put over the plants to keep the bugs off, but I guess I will get one and then finish the fence really quick. Evie, where were you 30 seconds ago? You're supposed to keep those deer away.
All right. We got a door, a gate. This faces down.
Sure.
Like that. Sure. I don't know where I'm going here, you guys. Oh, we need to shorten that.
It's too much. What do you think of the gate, Skittles? Joel decided instead of putting wood on this to just use some of the leftover fencing, and I think that works awesome because it's nice and light.
When are we gonna build a real boardwalk here?
You got a mosquito on your forehead.
Get it?
Yes. So here is the finished boardwalk. Is it working?
I think so. We'll get this maybe a little bit of leaking going on.
In this hose?
Just all these connections. So
Oh.
maybe we gotta get some plumber's tape. What's going on? I hear lots of water down on that end.
That's this crappy hose. It has a hole in it. It's somewhere over here. Yeah, right here. Oh, but all the drip is working. That's awesome. Now I just have to get it put in the right place. So on this end of the greenhouse, all I've got going on right now are some beans and the tomatoes. So I pulled the drip line right up next to the tomatoes, and that will make them very happy. They like to be bottom watered. And then in here, I've tried to put it between, so there's 2 rows of lettuce. Some of it you can see we've already eaten. And then there's a row of carrots and a row of beets. And I've got that going down there. And this outside stays kind of wet anyway, so the carrots have been really liking that.
We got our Clark Griswold of water lines here. 1, 2, 3 connectors. That's a thing of beauty. So we can even run an extra line hose down to the trees there to water them. This one is our main line coming from the well. This one runs over to the other side, to the south wall, to water all that.
And then there's
the
another
dripline.
splitter over there.
We should test it out. Can't reach it? Just a minute. All right. Just a second. Okay.
Okay, I'm at the top. Well, should I just pull it farther then? I'm hung up over on the east end. Oh, I got it. You want me to stop pulling?
Yeah, I'm just gonna get a ladder and then I'll pull it back.
We've had some pretty shady, cool days here. Man, the gray, look at that. When you're in the greenhouse, it really shows. But we've had some shady, cool days here, and I'm worried that it's stunting the cucumbers. I'm just not getting as many as I thought I would. So we are taking the shade cloth off this week. It's only gonna be mid-70s and kind of cloudy and overcast this week, so you can totally tell the difference. See how shady it is back there? How sunny it is up there, which is normal for this is the north bed here, so that's a little shadier when the sun is so high in the sky, and the south bed is much sunnier. Well, that wasn't as bad as I thought it would be.
Yeah, one pretty good.
I thought we'd get hung up a lot more on the hardware on the Lexan.
Pretty good.
Now just don't fall off the ladder, because I said that. Huh?
Hung up right here.
Oh.
That's quite the difference. I mean, you can just feel it instantly.
Yeah, that's
How much
hot.
warmer it is.
And you can still see though that these peppers are shaded back here because of this north wall,
Yeah.
but they're getting more sun, and last year we did great with peppers in the north wall, so. But I started to worry because these little shishitos, I'd gotten a bunch of shishitos off of that plant like 2 weeks ago, and now I'm not getting any more. We are back out here working on the last side of the fence, and Joel had the great idea to use one of our cedar trees as a corner post. So it'll be like the first thing you see when you drive up the driveway to Rustic Cedar Homestead.